My name is Ina Sultan, and I am a full-time real estate agent with ERA and a consistent top achiever. I have over 10 years of experience in the field of real estate, and I'm extremely passionate in what I do. Together with my dynamic team, we are known to handle the toughest cases and be an expert in the field of negotiating so that you will get the most value for your property. I am dedicated to help clients to sell, buy, and rent their property in ways they never thought possible. I turn houses into homes and want the best for you. Call me Ina Sultan.
So I'm very sure that you all pernah nampak a video when I talk about AMLA, right? And I receive a lot of question about AMLA. So today, kan, I nak explain about what AMLA is all about. AMLA stands for Administration of Muslim Law Act. So in simple term, it's a Sharia law in Singapore context. So as Muslim in Singapore, whether you're Singaporean or you're not Singaporean, as long you duduk di Singapura, kan AMLA kick in. Sekiranya kematian berlaku semalam, apa akan jadi dengan harta? So under the AMLA punya provision, the default setting is Faraid. So bagaimana mengikut pembahagian Faraid ini, it will impact your family. Contoh, so let's say now, for if you have $500,000 of assets and you ada isteri dan you ada anak-anak. So out of that $500,000, isteri you cuma dapat 62,500. Kenapa? Because under the Faraid distribution, isteri cuma dapat 1/8. So the question is, dengan that $62,500, would it be enough untuk look after your family? So that's why in AMLA also, there's also option kalau you nak bagi lebih daripada 1/8. Bagaimana nak bagi? So this is how I want to help you. I'm going to do 3 things. First, I akan buat financial health check. I nak kena tahu apa you punya asset, apa you punya liability. Yang penting bila you meninggal, right, you punya asset ni cukup untuk cover you punya liability. Kedua, kan, I will help you to sit down to do projection for your family. Right, anak you, dia punya children education macam mana, all this. Okay, last but not least, then that is where I will sit down with you and customize a estate planning for you. Right, that is where I need to understand from your family dynamic. So cukup ke tidak, right, what will happen kalau you tak ada. Then at the end of the day, the most important thing is your family will still have to go on with or without you. Kalau you rasa you boleh percaya I, click on the link below and contact me. Naim Omar, the estate planner.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Kak Ina, apa khabar? Hello Kak, I cannot hear you Kak. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Sekejap Give me 1 minute. Sekejap, let me do some changes. Can you hear me now Kak? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
Testing, dengar tak?
Yes, Alhamdulillah.
Ada. Dah dengar, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear.
Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Kejap
Baru boleh berbual.
Dah.
Assalamualaikum Kak.
Waalaikumsalam. Can you hear me
apa
well
khabar?
Clear
Yes, I
Baik,
can hear you.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Now I cannot hear you. You cannot hear me? Give us a moment. I think dia punya mic you disconnect ke, you connect balik ke Kak?
Testing, dengar.
Yes, alright, Alhamdulillah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, can.
You can hear
Now
me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now, loud and clear. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Merajuk aku yang mic ni
Dia pun
Hari dia
nervous.
merajuk
Dia
pun nervous
Dia pun nervous.
Dia segan sebenarnya.
How are you Kak? Okay, everything okay? Alhamdulillah. Now dia hilang lagi Kak. Dia segan. Dia segan. Is it because you? I don't know. I cannot hear you. Maybe you want to hold the mic. Maybe.
You can hear tak?
Dia
Dengar tak?
dia tak nak berpisah dengan you mic tu. Now okay. Now I'm okay.
Okay, sekarang dengar tak?
Now okay, Alhamdulillah.
Okay, can. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's this one. Move forward. Banyak cerita Faraid dan cerita ni.
Itulah dia. Ada pun banyak juga ni. In my daily consultation orang tanya. Ask about property. About property, macam mana what happened to the property bila diorang meninggal, all this lah. So I think first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you lah Kak for inviting me into your show.
Tak lah, my
Right, so that
show.
you know
Sama-sama show lah.
yeah,
Thank you
right,
for
your
agreeing
show.
to do this with me. Because I think memang banyak orang dekat luar sana yang tak tahu menahu pasal Faraid and all. And the reason why I tahu sikit lah is because I've spoken to you about it before, previously.
Yeah,
And there's certain information yang you tell me, I was very surprised. Even though I in this market for some time, when you tell me certain information pasal Faraid ni semua kan, even I myself surprised macam, oh really? Macam gini. So, you know, it's a learning experience. So today, I'm hoping that we can share with people out there, with the public, so that kita increase their knowledge, so that they can
yeah,
know what steps to do in future lah, better steps to
definitely.
prepare for themselves. Correct. Okay.
I mean, for me
Okay, Naim.
also, right? Yeah, for me also, it's still a learning journey for me lah, right? It's so dynamic, especially when it comes to these Faraid things. Right? It's a very dynamic because every family is different lah. Yeah, so
Betul.
today, you know,
Correct.
I hope to share as much as possible, and also want to learn as much as possible from you juga, Kak, in terms of the property matters that you handle. Yes,
Betul.
yeah. So,
To learn from each other,
yes, insyaAllah. Come, let's go. Bismillah. Let's go. I'm
Okay,
ready.
Bismillah. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
for everybody out there, we hope that you are joining us, and we hope this will sharing of knowledge, this little that we have, can give you more information and make better choices for better preparations for you and your family lah. Okay, so about Faraid and housing. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions, and hopefully insyaAllah kalau kita nampak nanti, we will reply to you lah. Okay. Waalaikumsalam, Aziniza. Hai Kak.
Hello.
Okay.
Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam, Zack Isaac. Okay, so Cik Naim, you ada any question for me tak?
Okay, so basically, right, in my consultation, right, a lot of people will always ask me lah, tanya I, Naim, kan, kalau let's say husband meninggal kan, will Faraid kick in automatically? Right, then if that's the case, then isteri dia macam mana, nak tinggal mana, all this. Yeah, so that's why I want to chat with you lah, because since you are the expert in this area, so maybe I want to ask you that, how you handle this kind of question lah, dengan rambut-rambut yang terbang-terbang tu kan.
Okay, I think it's a lot of worry because I handle few cases yang when husband pass away, makcik left alone, and so sekarang saudara-saudara all call tanya bila nak faridkan rumah. So I think previously I think a lot of people actually sell their houses and then tinggal dengan anak ke dengan apalah. But then actually for now the latest fatwa is rumah ni tak payah difaraidkan kalau selagi ada lain owner. So kita beli unless kalau kita beli under tenancy in common. Itu dua separate thing that we can waktu kita beli tu kita fikir betul-betul lah. Kita beli, kita nak joint tenancy atau tenancy in common. Kalau kita beli under joint tenancy, kita hak equal share. Satu mati dia tak dapat faraid under the last person. Itu beza dia. Tapi of course different kan, ada orang nak suruh faraid, ada orang tak nak suruh faraid. So terserah pada each family lah. Tapi the thing is the latest fatwa tak payah nak immediately jual rumah kerana nak bagi-bagi faraid. Kesian lah makcik tak ada rumah, tak ada tempat tinggal.
Itu dia. Betul.
Faraid.
So because I think because based on the recent fatwa, I think why they are, because previously maybe I can just share, right, previously based on the previous fatwa, right, it was always 50-50, betul tak? Right?
Yep,
Even though it's either joint tenancy. So that's why I think the fatwa committee sees that there might be some issue with that. Right?
Yeah.
And also, right, based on my knowledge and my experience, one of the reasons why they changed that fatwa is actually to coincide with the conveyancing law. Right, because the conveyancing law mentions that under joint tenancy, the last survivor will have full ownership of the property. So that is where, based on the previous fatwa, dia macam ada contradicting sikit lah. So Alhamdulillah, I'm blessed, that our Muiz Fatwa Committee is always active, looking at the interest of the community, looking at the situation of the community, and I totally agree with the latest changes to fatwa that under joint tenancy, then the last owner would have full ownership over that property. It solves a lot of problem. Dia solve banyak masalah lah. Yeah.
But I also think the,
So
the you know, I think
still
that it's
touching on the
more. So
Karen,
my
Karen tadi
thoughts,
you
I
say?
think macam the fatwa, there is no one rule that can satisfy everybody lah. So definitely yang
Definitely.
previous punya maybe some people rasa tak bagus. Even the current one maybe some people also rasa tak bagus lah, doesn't suit them well kan. But I think case to case basis. But I do agree. I think this new fatwa solves a lot of problems lah.
Yep. Especially you know ni lah those balu-balu yang ada anak lah. I would say. Yang anak-anak yang masih kecil-kecil lah kan. Diorang tak ada tempat tinggal. Yeah. So again because we are touching on the joint tenancy and the tenancy in common kan. So maybe as a realtors right. So how do you advise for property owner bila diorang nak beli rumah tu, when they are supposed to choose the joint tenancy or when they are supposed to choose the tenancy in common?
They have to choose upon the purchase time nak beli rumah.
Okay. So bila lah, I mean what the reasoning, I nak choose joint tenancy or I nak choose tenancy in common. So if let's say they come to you, hey Kak, I want to buy this property, I wasn't sure whether should I buy it under joint tenancy or should I buy it under tenancy in common. What should you advise?
Okay, I would think that in common practice selalunya when people buy, the ownership selalunya goes under joint tenancy. The joint tenancy means that these two people beli satu rumah, dia equal share. Dia tak ada cakap dia 50, dia equal share, equal 100%. So kalau Denny mati, that means Denny full 100%. So that is the reason why Denny tak payah nak tapi kalau tenancy common ada stated 50-50 atau stated 80-20 macam itu. So kalau let's say si 20 ni mati, the 80% nak kena beli dia per share. Kan? Kalau dia tak beli share, that means dia tak dapat full house. Kalau dia tak mampu, means have to sell lah. So itu dia punya beza dia. Ada dengar ni tak? I think ada dengar macam tu.
The feedback is it?
Can you still hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Alhamdulillah. Right. So that is from that you cannot hear me, is it? You cannot hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello. Dengar tak?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hari ni mic dia macam merajuk kita Mic dia macam merajuk. Now I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, can I can hear you. All right, good. Yes, we all can hear you, Kak. Oh, you cannot hear me, So maybe is it your audio? Can you hear me now?
Sorry technical problem.
Technical problem. Hari ni dia punya speaker macam tak nak berbual dengan kita lah. Okay, can you hear? Can you hear me now?
Naim, tadi you were explaining about the I was talking about the joint tenancy.
Can you hear me?
Tenancy in common Okay, I tengah nak dengar suara tapi tengah tak dengar suara pula. Okay, dengar tak?
Hello, testing. Yes, my audio is
okay, sekarang dengar. Okay, dah dengar you sekarang. Okay dah, dengar tak?
Okay. Alright, so now we are back. Yes, I can hear you. Now it's back. It's back online. Ini yang masalahnya dengan online ni. Kadang dia
Terima
online, dia
kasih.
offline.
Minta maaf lah ya. Maaf lah ya. Akak ni kalau masalah teknikal ni kan ni bukan favorite topik lah si teknikal ni.
Alhamdulillah Kak,
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. There's always the first time, right? I think this is your first time. This is also my first time. InsyaAllah, we are all learning. We apologize to the audience lah.
Kita I think dah 10 kali buat streaming ni, tapi tetap ada masalah teknikal macam gini jugalah. Okay, sorry tadi I tengah cakap
InsyaAllah.
tendency dengan tendency in common Tapi I nak tahu lah Naim, kalau
Correct,
sekarang
yeah.
apa beza dia kalau pasal in Faraid kalau let's say tendency in common dengan joint tendency, I mean selalunya what do people take, and I mean from your point of view, from your end, why would people want to take macam nak tak nak ambil joint tendency? Because I would think senang kan, jadi dia mati bini ada tempat tinggal and all that kan.
Okay. Alright. So basically So you see, that's why Alhamdulillah in Singapore, right, we have the freedom to choose, right, whether joint tenancy or tenancy in common, and they depend on your family dynamics. Okay.
Family
right.
dynamics, okay.
So basically, I give you an example. Depending on the family dynamic, especially right now, I'm handling a lot of blended families. You tahu tak apa tu blended families? That means they have children from more than just one marriage.
Okay.
That means the first time dia kahwin dia ada anak, lepas tu now let's say dia remarry balik, dia pun ada anak, right? So is two separate children from two separate marriages. Okay. So now if we go under the joint tenancy agreement, right? Yes. First of all, we will protect the spouses lah. Right, because upon the last survivor, whoever the last survivor will have full ownership, kan? Betul tak? Right? But the problem will be, right, upon the last survivor meninggal ni, then the house will fall under the last survivor punya Faraid distribution. So if let's say contoh husband and wife, right, husband pernah marry, dia ada anak daripada first marriage, so dia remarry, dia pun ada anak daripada second marriage. So let's say husband dia dah meninggal sekarang, the property goes to the spouse 100%, betul? Right, then under the so under the wife Faraid division, from the first marriage of the husband will not get anything.
Correct.
Right, and this can potentially become a problem.
Perang lah.
Right. Wallahu alam lah, but to me, right, that can be a problem that anak especially ni rumah pun rumah bapa aku, asal pun tak dapat under Faraid, then so that is where it creates tension between the family. So my client yang ask me whether I should take joint tenancy or tenancy in common, then I will tell them you have to look at your family dynamics. Okay, I know joint tenancy can solve the last survivorship. But tenancy in common, kalau you choose tenancy in common 50-50, contoh, right? 50-50. So if let's say now the husband pass on, right? The last survivor will actually hold the other 50% of the properties on trust.
On trust.
Betul? Right. On trust. So transmisinya nak kena jual tak? Transmission nak kena jual is just holding 50% on trust. When and upon the demise of the last survivor, which is let's say the spouse, now the property harus di Faraid 50-50. So 50% will fall under the husband in Faraid distribution, which the kids from the first marriage can also benefit.
Okay.
Right? And the 50% of the wife punya will follow the Faraid of the wife. So if you ask me, that will be like a fair distribution. All this.
So that's really the dynamics lah.
That kind of dynamic. So whether is it joint tenancy or tenancy in common, they really depend on the family dynamics. That is very important.
But if not, then that means they have documentation ke apa to do, macam will lah, apa semua that can.
Yeah. So another workaround that they can do, right? If let's say now they are doing under joint tenancy, right? So what they can do a will and do a wasiat. because under the AMLA provision, right, for Muslims, we can do a wasiat up to 1/3, 1/3 je daripada harta kita.
Okay.
So even though now the husband and wife do a will and wasiat to each other, then the husband now can the wife now can do a wasiat out 1/3 and give to the children of the first marriage of the husband. So in that way also, kan, you
okay.
also will protect the interest of the first marriage punya anak-anak. And we can also do vice versa. So if let's say now the husband is the last survivor, right, then they can the husband can also do a wasiat 1/3 and give to the spouse punya, let's say, first marriage punya anak-anak. Pun boleh. So in that way, right, it will solve problem. Both side punya problem.
Yeah, because I know will ni kita boleh buat 1/3 and can only be given to somebody who is outside of waris. Betul
Non-Faraid beneficiary. Yeah, non-Faraid
So that
beneficiary.
means,
You tak boleh
so kalau dia
your
nak kasih
Faraid
pada step children tu betul lah, because step children is not part of waris lah kan?
Correct. You can do that also. Good. So that is where I will advise my client a work around lah. So siapa-siapa yang dah beli under joint tenancy and they feel alamak, then macam mana aku punya anak-anak from my previous marriage, or even those anak-anak families yang ada anak angkat, they can also use this tool, the wasiat 1/3 and give out to the anak angkat also boleh.
And that 1/3 boleh kasih company tak? Macam derma lah, apalah semua. That 1/3 boleh?
1/3 ni you boleh kasih siapa-siapa. You boleh kasih siapa-siapa. You boleh kasih madrasah, you boleh kasih any charity organisation. So I always stress that this 1/3 is part of your amal jariah also. You can create like your amal jariah funding. So bila kita dah meninggal, then this 1/3 becomes our passive pahala lah.
Boleh kasih Ina kan?
InsyaAllah pun boleh juga. Boleh kasih Naim juga. Cuma penasihat 20%.
20%.
20%.
Okay. Apa tadi? Lagi satu tadi nak tanya, lupa lah. Apa tu? Okay. I nak tanya senario lah. Kalau let's say now for me, husband and I have one son. Okay, my son is 17, going 18. Kalau sekarang lah, if let's say now either one of us pass away, I'm thinking now what happened to in Faraid. You know what happened to in Faraid means is money, CPF, rumah lah kan? That's all lah kan? Investment insurance, is it? That's about all right. I remember you tell me these are the things that apa yang Faraid ni ada certain things yang kita boleh is under the Faraid punya law yang kita boleh, the division. Nah, you can roughly tell us Faraid ni apa barang yang boleh insight. Okay.
So if you look at my video, right, first of all, we need to understand AMLA. AMLA is Administrative Muslim Legislative Act lah. So it's like a law, right? So where one of it, they govern bila kita meninggal, bagaimana kita nak bahagikan harta kita, right? So kalau kita tak plan, then of course the government have a plan for us. So AMLA is the government plan and the default setting is Faraid. Okay, so then kalau dia Faraid, then kita nak tengok family tree. Let's say in your case, you have a son. So the good news is, kan, you punya harta remain within your family. So if let's say both of you dah tak ada, then everything will goes to your son. Okay.
Kalau both tak ada, everything goes to my son. Okay.
To your son. Kalau let's say even your parents dah tak ada, let's say your parents both dah tak ada, kan, then the only recipient is your son lah.
So I have parents. Parents boleh share.
So kalau ada parents, kalau parents, they will get 1/6 each. So your father will get 1/6, your mother will get 1/6. So then the balance, right, 4/6 will also goes to your son. So basically, being a son, he will have the lion's share of the share lah, of the distribution.
Boleh jadi ajis lah ni.
Yeah. So again, then the question is, at let's say, how young is your son now, Kak?
Apa kan?
How young is your son? Berapa umur dia
17.
Sekarang? 17. So just imagine, at the age of 17, he received this large sum of money. Right? Will he be able to manage this money? Right.
Cannot,
So that is where part of the, I'm not sure. Right. So maybe he can manage, but sometimes the environment also will play an important part. Sekarang, alamak, anak saudara aku ni banyak ni duit ni. Then,
Yeah.
everybody will come and ngecek lah. And being young, that's why sometimes the decision making may not be proper lah. So part of the estate planning process is to ensure that kita kasih harta tu kepada orang yang boleh manage harta tu dengan baik.
Okay. Automatically, who will manage?
So that is where under the estate planning punya process, you have to appoint your executor and your trustee lah.
Oh, so that one is inside the will lah.
So inside the will, right? And the other thing is because you also have anak yang bawah umur 21 kan. So that is where you also need to think who is going to be the legal guardian lah. So kalau let's say both of you dah tak ada, who's the next person that you trust most to look after your son?
And this will also put inside the will juga, tulis kat dalam will, trustee jugalah.
So all this will be written in the will. So that if something happens, then the will become instruction.
Kalau tak ada, what happens?
Kalau tak ada, then you have to go through what we call it the letter of administration punya process. So now the question is who can be the administrator? Right? So the administrator is any of your Faraid beneficiary. So if let's say now both of your parents is still around, so they can be the administrator. So if let's say both of your husband punya parent pun still around, diorang pun boleh jadi administrator. Because your son is below 21, dia tak boleh jadi administrator.
Okay. Kalau let's say dah tak
so
ada
now
parents,
you see, dah tak ada parents, then we have to look at who is best next. Sorry? Tinggal your son, but your son cannot be the administrator, right? Because he's below 21.
That means my sister, my brother ke apa, is it?
Yeah, so then you see there's a lot of uncertainty there, right?
Yeah, correct.
Betul? That again, that involve more than just one individual. So sometimes because of that, the process can be very complicated lah.
But most importantly, I think, siapa dapat duit tu? The money that is supposed to
So
be
of
untuk my
course,
son ni.
okay. So sekarang ni kalau you tak plan, then part of it depends, right? So kalau let's say CPF you tak nominate, it will goes to your public trustee. Right? So then of course, because your son is below 21, dia tak boleh withdraw duit ni. Then who can withdraw? Kalau you tak buat will, then the administrator have the authority to draw lah. But again, if you draw, then your administrator will have to justify kenapa dia nak kena draw, how much, so that it becomes a very tedious process. Padahal duit you ni.
So write in to public trustee to keluarkan duit.
Yes, correct.
So not only the CPF, all the other money also will go to public trustee, right?
Yes, correct.
Wah, leceh tu.
So once it goes to the public trustee, of course there will be charges dah.
Of course.
Right. So masuk je dah ada charges, bila nak withdraw pun ada charges.
Okay. Then also need approval
so that's where,
to keluarkan.
Yes. Yeah. So then the process become complicated and tedious. Then of course, you have to get legal to come in lah. You have to engage lawyer to help you to do all this paperwork. Then of course, then there will be legal fees involved as well.
So the other way around is I do a will to tulis that who is the administrator if my son is
Who's the
below 18 years
executor?
old.
No.
Executor.
Okay. Once you write a will, you have to appoint an executor. Executor is the one that is going to execute whatever you write in the will. Okay. Then you have to appoint a trustee. A trustee is the one that is holding on to your assets. Pengamanah lah. Executor dalam bahasa Melayu we call it pentadbir lah, right? Executor pentadbir, trustee is the pengamanah. Okay? Because you have right? Because you have children bawah 20,
Okay, pentadbir.
Okay, because you have pentadbir. Pentadbir is the executor, trustee is the pengamanah. Okay, then the other one, because you ada anak-anak bawah 21, then you have to appoint a legal guardian.
Okay.
So legal guardian ni is as good as he or she will replace the parents lah to make all the decision on behalf of the child.
Leceh betul jangan matilah bila 21
Janganlah cakap macam itu. No, I mean
Tunggu dia 21.
something that's good like, tunggu dia 21 kan. Kalau short lagi sebulan pun problem juga ni.
Itulah. Macam mana? Tapi yalah. So that means,
Yeah.
since we never know what will happen, the best way, of course, do the will lah kan?
Yes, correct. Get the will done up. Okay, there's a question.
We have a question.
Yes,
Runisa
correct.
Begum. So if we have a wasiat hibah for our child, can anyone challenge it under Faraid? Okay, Tuan Faraid, sila.
Okay, so basically, right, first of all, I think I need to make a clarification, right? The wasiat you cannot give to your Faraid beneficiary. That means if let's say you're the wasiat, you kasih to your daughter ni, your wasiat automatically dah tak valid. Because wasiat is only you are supposed to give wasiat to non-Faraid beneficiary first, okay? So second, hibah, right? So hibah ni kita nak kena tahu hibah yang boleh dikontes, hibah yang tak boleh dikontes. Alright. So there's only a few things that hibah that cannot be contest. That means your CPF cannot be, it must be nominated. Right. So once your CPF is tak boleh contest. Any
Kalau
nomination on your CPF. Kalau tak nominate, then it goes to the Faraid.
That means somebody, a letter of administration datang keluarkan duit tu and Faraid lah. Macam biasa lah.
Yeah, it's either letter of administrator. Kalau you dah buat will, then the executor will come in lah.
Okay.
Right. Second, insurance. Insurance also must nominate. Kalau tak nominate, then falls under the Faraid.
Okay. So hibah ni, then other things, hibah apa?
So let's say for example lah, right, you do any other forms of hibah. Sebab I think one of the very popular hibah yang banyak orang pernah dengar is hibah rukbah. Right, that means they create like a hibah rukbah.
Rukbah. Okay.
So it's a document.
Okay.
So I always tell my client, hibah rukbah ni is not enforceable. It is just a wish. Dia macam just aku nak harta aku dibahagikan bagi gini, because at the end of the day, for the hibah rukbah to go through, right, all the Faraid beneficiary nak kena approve. Because now, if let's say now this is the only daughter, then definitely, right, the Faraid beneficiary will go beyond the family. So if let's say now adik-beradik ada kan, then of course the adik-beradik comes to the picture all this. So all the Faraid beneficiary must consent in order for the hibah to go through.
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, that means if now you ada, kalau wasiat, that means you can only wasiatkan 1/3 of your asset. Itu dah tak boleh contest lah, because that is memang allowed kan.
Correct,
So
there's a
wasiat tak
provision.
boleh contest
Correct.
1/3.
But only
But
non-family
hibah ni,
member.
Non-family member. So anyway, kalau you nak buat pun wasiat for family member tak boleh kan? It will not be
Tak boleh.
recognized also, right?
Tak boleh.
Okay.
Yep.
So that
You
means for
void.
wasiat, that means tak boleh contest lah. So to answer this question, if you do a hibah is like a gift and a request, a personal request from the person yang si mati, that to give so and so this thing that belongs to me. But if let's say now the Faraid punya waris tu semua ada yang tak agree, that means have to still Faraid. Correct?
Yes, correct. Unless, right, like what I tadi cakap, hibah, let's say through your CPF nomination. Itu tak boleh contest.
Unless ada yang tak boleh contest, okay.
Right. Then if let's say your insurance pun you ada buat nomination, itu pun tak boleh contest. Sama
apa
juga
beza
macam
dia
joint
hibah
tenancy tadi. Sorry?
Dengan joint tenancy sudut umar kan? Macam
Tadi
apa
joint
hibah
tenancy
dengan
tu kan, last survivor tu kakak, itu pun hibah tau actually. Hibah. Joint tenancy tu, right, the last survivor
hibah.
have full ownership, that is also under the hibah. So ada 3 hibah yang tak boleh challenge lah.
Oh, okay, these 3. Yeah, because that one is a gift kan? Kira the spouse give to the person after he pass away. Okay, understand. So tadi ada tanya, kalau Nuzria dengan hibah, apa beza dia?
Okay, so technically Nuzura come from the root word called nazar lah. Right, nazar is you punya niat lah.
Wish sama
You punya
macam
niat. So let's say contoh lah, kalau aku pass exam, aku main nazar, aku nak buat ni. Something like that, right? Betul? Like that, right? So there's also this document called Nuzuriyah lah. So Nuzuriyah is more of you punya religious punya niat lah. The difference between hibah and nuzuria, hibah kalau you nak cancel, dia tak ada kafarah.
Oh.
Tapi nuzuria, kalau you nak cancel, there is kafarah.
That means but that one is your personal thing je lah.
Yeah, that's your personal thing between you and Allah. But again, from my experience, Kak, right, when it comes to the division of your asset upon you meninggal, right, the Sharia court will only recognize 2 je. Right, 1/3 wasiat, 2/3 faraid. Other than that, they don't recognize. Yes, other than that, they don't recognize. So if let's say you boleh buat nuzuriah lah, you boleh buat hibah rubah lah, or whatever hibah you want to do, as long as it get contested, then the default setting will always go back to faraid.
Okay, so I repeat that portion jadi so that I understand and I think clear, hopefully our this one can understand better. So nuzriah dengan hibah. Hibah ni is hadiah. Correct, hadiah that I wish to give to somebody upon my death. Okay, but nuzriah is macam I dah buat nazar. That means kalau I mati and then because something happen, I nak kasih my rumah ni pada another person. Tu niat lah. So tapi the end of the day, macam for example I nak buat tu hadiah tu is the house lah. Although it's the same thing for both, I boleh buat hibah atau nuzriah for the house untuk kasih pada person A ke person B ke whoever as a hadiah or as a nuzriah, as a nazal tapi both can be tested if the faraid punya waris ni tak nak. At the end of the day, diorang still cakap tak nak, means still have to sell and faraid ke apalah. Okay, correct. So that's the difference. Correct. Okay. I've always wondered what's the difference nuzriah dengan si hibah ni.
Yeah.
Okay, Kak. Adalah surat
dua. Sorry.
But still ada kan surat dokumen, satu yang nuzriah and satu hibah. It's two
ada.
Legal documents kan. Cuma at that time tak tahu pakai lah.
It's a document but it's not legally binding. Itu yang orang nak tahu. Right. Nuzuria ataupun hibah rubah ni is a document but it's not legally binding. That means kalau let's say tadi katakan lah, kalau any of your faraid beneficiary contest, then that document dah tak valid lah.
Dia tak boleh win faraid lah.
Dia is more to a wish tau. Dia tak boleh override faraid. Remember, dia tak boleh override faraid. Dia tak boleh override faraid.
I think this is very important because some people say senang-senang buat nuzriah je lah. Just make one document, you know, nanti mati senang kasih je pada so and so and so, you know. But actually no, it can be contested because not all scenarios that you can get lah. Yeah,
correct. Okay. Yeah. So I mean tadi you talking about tadi apa ni?
Kalau husband and wife mati sama-sama same time, example accident. Okay, I asked this question before. If I'm not wrong, I ever asked Naim this question. So I think his answer was, correct me if I'm wrong Naim
okay.
Dia cakap that husband and wife waktu kita mati, dia ada time of death. Correct. They will follow the time of death of the later person. So it will faraid under the later person. Am I right or not?
Okay. This one there is something that is debatable.
Debatable,
because from the common law, if we follow the common law, okay, kan, the rule says that whoever is older, sesiapa yang lebih tua, is deemed to pass away first.
Oh, walaupun pass away same time?
Yes. So let's say dua-dua, okay, not say same time because usually this kind of case, diorang tak boleh determine siapa yang meninggal dulu ni. Macam cerita Doremi, Do meninggal dulu ke Mina meninggal dulu, ingat tak? Right, so there's no way to determine kan siapa yang meninggal dulu. So that's where they based on age.
Okay, so
in
the
siapa
case
yang lebih tua,
when they cannot determine, they use age. Okay.
Yeah, they use the age. So the older one, yeah. Kalau dia boleh determine, then they follow time of death.
Okay, betul. Kalau cannot, macam for example burning house example then they cannot know who is mati dulu kan. So they will follow
Correct.
the older one as in died first. That means the second
Yeah.
one is the younger one. Then the Faraid will be on the second one. Betul?
Yes, correct.
Kesian
Correct.
siapa yang ni?
Yeah, correct.
Kesian juga lah orang tua-tua. Siapa yang muda better
So siapa-siapa
Nak
yang
mati
belum
bersama.
kahwin tu, siapa-siapa yang belum kahwin tu pandai-pandai lah cari yang partner kan.
Fikir-fikirkan lah nak kahwin.
Kau fikir-fikir kan.
Fikir-fikirkan kalau nak kahwin, kalau nak mati bersama. Okay. Apa tadi alamak question?
Okay.
What's the difference in duties between executor and administrator? Okay. Ni nak dengar juga ni answer dia ni. Executor and administrator.
Executor and executor and administrator. This one, the executor, right, is bila you have a will. Bila you ada will, you nak kena name the executor, betul?
Oh, you bukan name
so that is where bukan. When you have a
Oh.
will, you nak kena appoint executor.
Executor.
Okay. But when you don't have a will, that's where you call it dying intestate. When someone pass on without a will, they call it the person die intestate. That is where you have to go through the GLA lah, the grant letter of administrator. So then who would appoint the administrator is the court that will appoint the administrator.
Oh, bukan Faraid punya waris tu pilih?
No. So let's say for example, dalam Faraid beneficiary tu ada 5 orang lah contoh. Kan? Let's say orang tu meninggal tak ada will. So ada 5 Faraid beneficiary. So siapa yang boleh jadi administrator? So let's say anak yang first cakap okay aku nak jadi administrator. So in order for him to be the administrator, the rest of the Faraid beneficiary must agree.
Yalah. So everybody
Then
must
they submit to
agree
the court. Then they
court
submit
must
to the
agree.
court for approval. Yes, correct.
Okay.
So if
Then
let's
itu
say
administrator.
any of the Faraid beneficiary tak nak sign, then it's going to be a problem. Okay, but if you write a will, when you appoint this executor, right, this executor can be anyone. It may not be also part of your Faraid beneficiary also.
Anybody you can choose
Right,
lah.
so that is anybody you can choose. So that is where it helps you to have the freedom to choose siapa yang you percaya the most to do this on your behalf upon you bila you dah meninggal kan.
Okay. So if let's say you nak buat will, you name your executor tu, then waktu you actually mati, you dah tak payah buat letter of administration kan?
No, you have to go through the route what we call the grant of probate.
So you do grant of probate, tak payah buat letter of administration, betul?
No need. Correct. The difference is grant of probate is slightly faster lah because now the court knows that yang the testator dah appoint this person as the executor, so usually they will just move forward.
Yeah, so kira what you want
and
already
no one
dia
can
dah tahu
contest
lah.
kak. Yeah, and no one can contest. Let's say for example
contest.
you appoint, nobody can contest because the testator has the freedom to choose who is the executor he or she wants. So that is where part of this process is to eliminate the uncertainty lah.
Yeah.
So you confirm
dah
kalau you tak ada,
confirm,
this person is the one. Yes.
tapi confirm it will happen the way that you want it. So you prepare for it
Yes.
now lah. Cuma tak banyak
Yes.
orang kita yang buat,
Correct.
tak banyak orang yang buat this route because nak kena bayar lah kan. So
Yes,
because of that
correct.
banyak orang fikir tak apalah nanti bila mati nanti boleh cerita lah. But I think that's the reason why actually you have to start to plan, because the thing is kalau if you have small kids or maybe your spouse tak tahu menau or tak pernah bekerja, they don't understand about all this. So if you don't do the planning now, later on when they have to do the letter of administrator baru nak kena buat surat semua, diorang kalau tak faham, that's where the problem lah kan. Rumah tak boleh settle, kalau let's say duit dalam bank tak boleh keluar, all this is necessary because the family has to move on. Yang dah tak ada ni dah tak ada lah.
Security lah.
Ada ni nak makan minum ni kan. So I think it's important to think of all this.
Correct. Kakak. So much so wait. I want to ask you a question. I always have this. I receive this question that always client ask me, right? Kalau let's say mak bapak dah tak ada, let's say dua-dua dah meninggal, mana rumah tu tak ada owner lah, right? Anak-anak tak nak jual rumah tu kak, right? Tapi dorang tak nak jual, tapi dorang nak sewakan lah, so that rather than they get lump sum, right, they get monthly now lah, macam rental lah. Boleh tak Kak?
Okay, macam orang cakap apa, investment lah. Investment
Yes,
because
investment.
investment. Jadi every month you dapat income from rental, tapi rumah ni kira dah ada owners lah. Okay, so in a whether it's HB house or private house sama because when the house has no more ownership, okay, when you nak sewakan rumah ni, you need owners to sign. Kan?
Okay.
Sekarang in the first place sekarang there is no owner to sign. So if you still rent out, that means it's an illegal transaction. You collect duit tapi illegal transaction because there's no owners who allow this to sign. That's number one lah. Kedua, there is no owners to bertanggungjawab for this rental. Besok-besok anything happen, like say overcrowding ke, illegal tenant ke, any issue, there's no owners to take care of this. If let's say somebody yang pergi overseas, okay, dia nak kena bawa power of attorney, orang kat sini jagakan rumah dia. Itu baru dia overseas. Kalau orang meninggal ni, there is no document.
Dah lain sis dah Kak.
Lain sikit tu. There is no document that will allow somebody to jaga your house if you dah tak ada. So cannot. So you cannot do rental so that your family will consistently get income lah. So I have a lot of people who ask me this also. I have one client landed house also. Dia cakap jangan jual because jual nanti duit tu bagi-bagi Faraid, anak dia ambil satu kali beli Mercedes dah habis. Beli rumah, beli kereta dah habis. So dia cakap tak nak. So every month dia punya rental is almost $10,000 for the house. Dia nak suruh bagi-bagi anak-anak dia. Semua dapat sikit-sikit every month lah. So for long term you have the kids will have income. But tak boleh kalau tak ada ownership tak boleh. So the answer is no lah. The house still have to be sold and Faraid lah apa diorang nak buat with the house up to them. Unless if they can transfer the house to another owner, one of the anak-anak apa kan, if everybody agree, then from there they rent out and they share the money lah. Itu dah private arrangement lah kan.
Okay, correct. But then the transferring pun macam mana Kak sebab orang owner ni dah meninggal?
Kalau nak apa transfer, that means sell to another person lah. But as long as the Faraid punya waris semua agree at certain price, charge very cheap to transfer to this person lah. Just basically macam sell to this person lah. Maybe ada one of the anak tak ada rumah, jual pada dia lah.
Okay. So the bottom line is for every property, for you to keep your property, you must have an owner lah.
Yes, must have owners. Kalau dah tak ada owner, money HDB will not inform you or apa SLA ke apa, they will not inform you. Okay, Marcel lah, dia ni dah mati, you immediately Marcel by next week. Normally they don't do that lah. Tapi when they send a letter, tell you, please take note this house now there's no owner and all so please the house, what are you doing to the house? There will be a certain deadline. I don't know what's the deadline because I think there is no, this one is quite a grey area. But if let's say there's no claims towards the house, tak ada orang nak jualkan, tak ada orang buat letter of administration untuk transfer ke apa kan, by a certain time limit HDB or SLA can take over your house. By right they can because then the house all belong to trustee lah, government lah kan.
Okay.
Macam for example missing person, orang ni pergi overseas sekali dia mati. Rumah kat sini takkan kita nak tunggu lagi 50 tahun tunggu what happen, claim, somebody nak claim. So by a certain deadline, when there's no claim towards their property, the government the government have the right to take back. Cuma bila there is, I think it's quite a grey area. I don't have a time limit specific. They can send you a letter to say, are you doing anything to the house? When are you doing something to the house? Or maybe they can send a letter to the either executor ke, administrator ke, or next of kin ke kan. Tapi still after a while still the house still nothing done. They have the right to take back the house. After a certain
okay. Then kalau let's say they take over, that means they buy ke macam mana? Or you just take over je for free?
I think if they macam repossess lah, if they take over the house, for example maybe they take over this house harga 300,000 example this 300,000 will stay in in Singapore ni ada Baitumal semua kan. All the money that is not claim in Muslim punya law kan will go to Baitumal kan.
Okay, correct.
So I am sure there is somewhere that they will put the money go to there lah. Kalau unclaimed after berapa tahun.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, correct. Because then it falls under the estate, then if there's no claim, then it's under the public trustee, under the unclaimed monies lah.
Yeah, pasal kalau tak ada orang claim, then the money will just cannot be stay there for how long kan?
Correct.
So end of the day they will
Correct.
they will take put into Baitul Mal
Go to
or something
Baitul Mal lah. For Muslim, they will definitely go to Baitul Mal.
Muslim Baitul Mal. Kalau non-Muslim
Correct.
apa
Oh, okay. Non-Muslim, they will go to the government lah.
Government lah kan? Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
tadi we have a question.
Correct.
Sorry, does that answer your question?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Kalau tak ada
because some of them tu, alamak, I don't want to get lump sum. I just want to get my monthly. So yeah, it's not possible lah kan.
Yeah, not possible. What happened to our flat and
Okay.
CPF in Singapore? Bagi aku, kalau tak ada anak, both dah pass on. Sebelum pass on, transfer nama aku. Okay, Cik Hasina. Idea. Will it be Faraid to both our siblings, both in Singapore and Malaysia? Okay.
Kini you nak jawab ke kak? What happens to the flat? I think you jawab lah for the flat.
So sekarang if let's say now the house, firstly the house is, for example if your house is joint tenancy, okay, if both pass on like tadi punya rule kalau 2 person and 1 person pass away first, then the house will fully owned by the second person, the person who pass away last lah. Okay, kalau let's say these 2 person pass away at the same time, we follow the rule tadi, whoever is the oldest is deemed to pass away first, then the second party punya tu, the faraid will be done on the younger party, okay, or the second party who pass away, okay. So in this scenario, then this house has to be claimed. For example, now you must have, if you don't have a will, if you have a will, you need to have the executor. You dah pilih orang ni untuk jualkan you rumah you, untuk handle all your investments, your bank account, semualah. Termasuk all these things, including one of it is your house. They will sell, the money will faraid. Okay, kalau tak ada executor, that means after you pass away, somebody, one of the waris, dah pilih siapa waris untuk buat jadi administrator, buat dia surat-surat documents untuk jual rumah ni dan faraidkan. Okay. Tadi question dia cakap faraid to whom? Correct? Faraid to who The faraid to whom will depend on the last person who pass away. If let's say husband pass away first, faraid will be done on wife punya family. Kalau tak ada anak, then dia tengok ada mak, bapa, adik-beradik lelaki, adik-beradik perempuan, kan? Then kalau tak, next will be pakcik. Dia ada dia punya this one kan? I think dia ada dia punya which one comes first apa-apa kan? Kalau tak ada ni dia punya dia. Tapi if let's say this house wife pass away last, husband pass away first, wife pass away second, that means wife pass away, dia tak payah nak faraidkan kepada suami punya side. Correct? Dan kalau suami yang pass away last, dia pula faraid, tak payah kasih pada wife punya side. Okay, so it's vice versa lah. Okay, hope that answers your question, Puan Haslina.
Yeah. So to answer the CPF part tadi, right? CPF, it depends. That's why seperti saya katakan tadi, CPF, it depends whether ada nomination ke tak ada nomination. Kalau ada nomination, of course you will follow the nomination. Kalau tak ada nomination, then that is where it follows the faraid distribution again. Right? So if any of the faraid recipient, sorry?
Kalau dia tak ada nomination, that means dia masuk itulah executor atau administrator macam tadi lah kan?
Yeah, it goes back to your apa ni, estate punya account lah.
Yep.
Right? So that is where, right, whoever is a faraid beneficiary, be it whether he or she is a local or he or she is a foreigner, right? Then you have to reach out lah to them. Because let's say for example in a scenario where tak ada anak lelaki, lepas tu adik-beradik pun dah tak ada, then let's say pakcik-pakcik pun dah tak ada, pakcik-pakcik sebelah bapak pun tak ada, it can go as far as to the male cousin, the paternal male cousin. And you know sometimes kan kita punya family ni, dia punya branch out ni, it can be some of this paternal male cousin is a foreigner. Right, it may not be even in Malaysia, it can be in, sekarang orang dah pergi as far as Europe, Australia. Yeah, so that is where it voice
korek ala-ala cousin kat Afrika.
Correct, cousin satu dah campak dekat Afrika kan.
London.
Right, so that is where right, it boils down to the responsibility of, kalau ada buat will is the executor. Kalau tak buat will, then it will be the administrator now to do all this tracing lah.
Okay, so kalau sekarang tadi cakap kalau in that scenario tadi you cakap ni, kalau nak cakap administrator tapi sekarang tak ada anak, mak bapak dah tak ada, adik-adik pun dah tak ada, so nak tunggu siapa yang administrator ni to do all this, then baru boleh claim duit daripada penjualan rumah ke CPF ke apa kan. Tapi administrator ni sekarang pusing-pusing semua dah tak ada. Yang tinggal si Africa ni, si London punya cousin ni. That means kalau dia tak tahu menau, that means rumah ni gone lah kan. Tak tahu claim lah.
Ya, tadi lah, saya katakan dah, unclaim lah.
Dia pergi Baitul-Mal lah kan.
Yeah, correct. Then it will happen to all the assets kan, assets je. It's
Semua
not only the
assets
house. It can be the CPF money, it can be the money in the bank. So that eventually it will goes to the Baitul-Mal. But Alhamdulillah, Baitul-Mal is run by MUIS lah. So definitely this harta will goes back to the Muslim community to benefit the Muslim community as a whole lah.
The one solution, one option, dia pergi ke Baitul-Mal. Baitul-Mal ambil, then Baitul-Mal bagi-bagi pada whoever, berapa asnaf semua kan. Ataupun of course dia charges to Baitul-Mal lah kan, I'm sure kan. Dia akan jaga ke apa.
Correct.
Second option, Cik Naim tahu tak apa option tu?
Apa option ni kak? I'm not sure. Maybe you want to help me with that?
Second option, sign semua sekali nama Ina.
Itu pun
Paling selamat
juga kak, 20%.
Paling selamat 25%.
25% Yeah, so like what I mentioned. So that is the reason why kan I always advise my client kan, it's very important to do the estate planning. When we do estate planning tak semestinya kita nak kena mati tau. Right. Right. But
untuk orang hidup lah.
I mean satu benda yang dijanjikan yang akan pasti berlaku ni kematian lah. Persoalannya kita tak tahu bila je kita meninggal. So that's where it's very important lah for us to plan all this. So that like tadi you cakap lah, property you akan terjamin. Right. So you punya ahli waris pun akan dilindungi dengan hak-hak mereka lah.
So the purpose of doing this
kalau tidak
estate planning ni, if I can sum up what is estate planning, because I pun baru tahu faham pasal estate planning. Kita dulu daripada zaman mak-mak nenek semua macam tak pernah orang berbual pasal berbual pasal estate planning lah kan. Selalu fikir dah mati-mati lah kan, duit dapat alhamdulillah, tak dapat sudah lah kan. Macam that's our society mindset from so long. But if I can understand what's estate planning now, estate planning is important not for the person who died. It is important for the person who's living when you die. Correct? So if you want to have a plan for the people that you leave behind upon your death, then that is why you do estate planning lah. Of course there are some costs, but at least you know that these things are done your way. Because if not, dia kalau macam for my sake for example kalau if husband meninggal, I meninggal, and if all this money, whatever yang ada lah, bukan dah berjuta pun, tapi whatever yang ada ni, it would be preferably to support my son kan, macam dia nak sekolah ke nak apa kan. So at least this money kalau kasih pada one of my waris yang boleh jaga dia lah. Kalau tak dah lah orang nak kena jaga dia. Duit pergi kat public trustee, nak keluar nak minta, nak get approval kan. So I would think that it makes sense for me to do one document to make sure that at least ada orang jaga duit ni dan dia boleh jaga my son lah. Use it to jaga my son lah. Kalau tak, hantar anak, tak hantar duit pula kan.
Betul.
Hantar sekali. Tak?
Nanti jadi
kalau
jadi anak susah Zali pak.
Kan? Anak susah Zali. nak hantar kalau hantar anak dengan hantar duit, ramai yang boleh jaga. Kalau nak hantar anak aja, kalau tak hantar duit, orang baru-baru pun alhamdulillah insya-Allah orang okey lah kan. Tapi dah after a while takut kita menyusahkan orang. Betul. So that's what I think lah. So I think that's why estate planning is important. Dah banyak-banyak that I see the cases that I've served. I think when I see this being a problem to the cases that I see, baru I realise actually this is the reason why we need to have estate planning. Because if we had done just this one document, it would have saved a lot lah. Save a lot of situations. Because sometimes especially cases yang gaduh-gaduh lah kan. So balik nanti kena buat estate planning, include nama Ina.
Lah kak punya promotion dah jadi ya. Afdal, alhamdulillah. Tapi jangan lupa letak Naim secondary kan. Don't forget to like and share. Nama Ina Sultan bukan hanya jual rumah. Okay, kita sanggup kalau orang nak masukkan nama kita dalam will. Pasal wanted boleh buat orang lain nama aku. One and only Ina Sultan. Important
Macam I give one example. I have one customer ni, dia the husband passed away. So he has a second wife and dia ada the first wife meninggal. So dia kahwin second wife. The first wife ada 2 kids grown up already. So the second wife ada small child. Anak dia at that time was I think below 21 lah. So I think at that time was berapa 9 ke 10 macam itulah, very young. So the father passed away. So this spouse now staying with the child and these 2 kids yang besar ni dah pindah lah. So these 2 kids nak jual. Nak Faraid lah kan rumah ni. Tapi the spouse tak kasih lah because dia tak dapat tinggal lah firstly kan. Secondly dia cakap yang next punya waris belum cukup umur. So because of all this and because tak ada documents, nak kena tunggu si Denny sekarang 21. So years later now dia dah 21 dah. So dia dah 21 sekarang. But these 2 siblings masih tak boleh jual rumah ni. Because this one tak nak sign, this one sekarang tak nak answer phone call, you come dia tak boleh buka pintu, become such a big fight because tak ada documentation to allow this to bagi-bagi betul-betul lah kan. So that's why dia ni pun tak boleh dapat. So in the end the house sekarang hanging. So one day if it's hanging for some time, chances ada kan rumah akan kena tarik lah kan.
Betul.
Most probably kalau tak ada claim, one day you will kena tarik. So rugilah kan kalau kena tarik, right?
So bila that happen, then none of the beneficiary will benefit lah because it goes back to Baitul-Mal, right?
I think if dia nak tarik, because dia ada letter of administration, so kalau dia nak tarik, I think the waris will get the share.
Okay.
Because kalau dia tarik pun, they will give a certain amount of money kan. Because the thing is dia nak tarik, dia will buy over, dia bukan tarik for free. So dia tarik, this money then you will divide lah. But this money is lower than market rate. If you sell, you get very high price kan. You boleh cakap nak berapa.
Correct.
Especially price kan tinggi sekarang. If HDB tarik, of course kasih harga lower lah. So this is the balance money, you have to live with it lah kan. You just live with the amount lah.
Correct.
That's why this is the I mean lagi gaduh with the all this lah kan. So definitely estate planning is important lah. Okay. Sorry, we have another question.
We got one question, yes, correct. So salam Kak Ina, Bro Naim. Tadi Bro Naim mentioned the cons of not writing a will, pay fees to public trustee and such, legal fees to lawyers too. But even with the will, kita still nak kena bayar the appointed lawyer to execute the will, correct? Yes, correct. So I always tell this to my client, kan? You tak buat pun you kena bayar. You buat pun you kena bayar. But usually kalau you tak buat, you nak kena buat later, the cost is always higher. I give you example. Right. So let's say now you tak buat will. Okay. So then of course then you tak buat will, CPF you tak nominate, semua you don't do any planning, everything goes to the public trustee. Right. So now first you nak kena liquidate all these assets, betul? So bila you nak liquidate all these assets, you have to engage a lawyer to apply for letter of administrator. Right? So you want to apply letter of administrator right now, minimally at least 4,000 to 5,000 lah sekarang. Okay? Then again, this one kalau clear cut bermakna semua Faraid beneficiary agree, sign, right, within 6 months settle. But sometimes it can be complicated. So the longer the more complicated the process is, it will take longer time means more money. Oh. Betul? Because that's how it works lah kan. Because you need to apply for more time, all this, right? First. Second, if let's say there is now a minor involved in the distribution of the Faraid, so dia tak perlukan satu, now dia perlukan 2 administrator.
Oh, another one for the minor.
Another one. So kalau you ada minor, ni anak-anak bawah 21, administrator 2, bukan 1 je sekarang. So nak appoint 1 pun dah problem, apalagi nak appoint 2 sekarang. Right? And this process will take maybe 6 to 1 year. So just imagine the asset is locked there for 1 year. Right? So there's a lot of sorry?
Leceh.
Right? So first ni is just to unlock the asset tau. So sekarang ni duit tu masuk public trustee, right? So you nak draw duit ni kan for the minor, right? So then you have to write into public trustee and justify lah. So then bila you draw, dia ada additional cost lagi. Right? Versus sekarang ni kalau you buat you punya will. Okay, but you see by having a will, dia pun tak solve all the problem. Right, contoh you buat will tapi CPF you tak nominate, insurance you tak nominate, pun another problem. So that's why estate planning, I always tell my client, estate planning is more than just a will writing. It encompasses in planning your assets in totality. Right, because if let's say now, let's say for example, you buat will and you appoint, let's say, a trustee and a legal guardian, then I would advise part of the nomination, you should name your legal guardian or your trustee. Right, so that upon your demise, your trustee and your legal guardian will have the money in the quickest time possible, betul? Sebab apa, kalau you buat CPF nomination, within 3 to 4 weeks, the money is out dah.
Automatic
Right,
dia
and at
dapat
least
in there.
automatically besok pagi, asal duit aku banyak? Tiba-tiba jadi orang kaya Tak lah, tapi of course, but again, right, then some people say okay lah, I just do nomination lah, I don't need to do will. Then kalau, because under the regulation, whoever you nominate ni, dia ada full rights over that money tau. So kalau let's say now I nominate you lah kak, without doing any document, tu duit jadi hak you kalau you tak jaga. Tapi kalau you tak gunakan duit tu untuk jaga anak I, you're not liable, no?
I'm not what? Liable means what?
Let's say for example lah kan, I buat nomination, I letak nama you. Tapi I tak buat will lah. I tak state kenapa I nominate you. So the money is yours, right? Betul?
Yeah, of course.
So kalau you tak jaga anak I, nobody can hold you responsible, you see?
Betul? You tak suruh?
Yes, because it's not written. So that is where, right, the estate planning process is holistic. It's just not about the will writing.
So it's informed that the money siapa dapat CPF ni have to faraidkan the money, atau this money has to be used for specific something like that.
You can write it down. You can write it down because you must understand a Muslim will is instruction. You can put all the instruction there.
Okay. So it's a full process lah kan?
Yes, correct. It's a full process.
Okay, satu important question I nak tanya. Benda-benda estate planning ni kan, is it new? Like macam Nuzria ni semua, is it new? Will ni semua, is it new? Ke daripada dulu memang ada?
Daripada dulu memang ada tak? Daripada dulu tak memang ada. This instrument
apa macam dulu arwah my grandfather meninggal. I tak pernah dengar pula cerita pasal siapa nak dapat wasiat ni, bagi-bagi faraid macam mana dulu arwah grandfather meninggal, grandmother meninggal. I tak pernah dengar cerita pasal benda-benda ni macam ni. Cuma sekarang je dengar cerita pasal nak bagi-bagi macam mana, shares macam mana gini Kenapa? Kenapa dulu tak ada cerita macam ni?
You know, I always share this with my client. I think first thing first, you look at the property value. Let's say I would say you have been in the industry for long enough. You look at the property value, let's say 20 years ago. 3-room flat berapa kat sekarang dulu, 20 years ago? 100,000 ada?
20 years ago? Tak sampai lah. Tak sampai 100,000.
Tak sampai kan? Tak sampai 100,000. So kalau let's say lah, kan, kalau you dapat 10% share lah kat out of 80,000 lah, berapa you akan dapat kat? 8,000 lah.
Dia tak kisahlah, lebih kurang halal lah kira
Tak kisah betul. Sebab sekarang kak, 3-room flat berapa minimally? 4 to 500,000?
Yes, dekat setengah juta
right,
dah.
10% berapa kak? Tadi you punya tukang penasihat 25%. Right, so that now it involve a lot of money now.
Yeah. Because the price is now higher. The ni. Yalah, kalau dulu maybe I remember my grandfather dulu cakap dia beli rumah HDB dulu, rumah dia 18,000. So kalau 18,000, maybe dulu pun maybe less educated people. So kalau nak tahu tanya siapa faraid, siapa dah faraid pun meninggal, baratan dapat semua orang dia bagi-bagi seorang macam 200 ke kan, semua orang alhamdulillah, terima kasih. Kalau sekarang macam mana boleh? Berapa harganya? Divide berapa share aku? Semua orang nak tahu concise exactly berapa, because the amount is much bigger lah. Betul lah kalau sekarang betul lah Mihrun ni cakap, sekarang banyak orang menyibuk. Banyak orang sibuk pasal harta orang.
Betul. Agree. So yeah. Dulu orang tak heran. Sekarang orang je heran pasal
dulu dapat 200, 300. Sekarang kalau dapat ribu-ribu. Terus dia jadi macam wow. Boleh jadi ajis.
Betul.
Pasal banyak orang heran lah. Dia macam menanti je tunggu siapa next nak Faraid kan. I heard from some lawyers wasiat and nuzul can do on our own. Oh really? Waalaikumsalam Bella Pre-Love.
Waalaikumsalam.
Betul?
Waalaikumsalam.
You buat sendiri ke?
Okay, memang betul. Right, to nak tulis you punya wasiat, nak tulis you punya nuzuriah ni semua, you boleh buat sendiri. You tak perlu go through a lawyer or you don't need to go through an estate planner like me to do this. Right, but my question is, how you structure the will, how you structure the document. Right, kalau orang tak contest, everything okay. But now bila that document kena contest, macam mana? Right? So that is where, of course, having a lawyer to help you to draft or having an estate planner to advise you on how to draft your will, then we will advise all the blind spot in the will, so that benda ni jadi dokumen yang orang senang faham dan orang pun boleh ikut. Macam contoh you buat nuzuriah, yes. Let's say you buat nuzuriah, but you don't know that this nuzuriah is not legally binding. You just write, oh, nuzuriah, I give everything to my wife. But I mean, kalau this document kena contest, then this document is not valid because nuzuriah something that the Sharia court tak consent, tak approve pun. Now, so that's why it's very important to get proper advice so that you will know whether, I always tell my client, we need to ensure that kita punya planning must follow the law. Bukan the law follow our planning.
Oh, okay, correct. Understand.
Right. So banyak orang dia buat plan, dia tak ikut the law. So bila you plan, you tak ikut dia punya cara pembahagian dia, contest, that is where it goes back to the Faraid.
Dia macam sama macam nak jual rumah. Jual rumah ni pun you boleh jual sendiri. Kan?
Betul.
Tetapi I mean if you know it's good, tapi cuma it is end of the day salah ke, betul ke, loophole dia ada ke, atau kalau salah what happens ke, can you find the solution to the problem if it's wrong. Yeah, so end of the day if you know how to do it, yes, I think can lah kan. Recognize or not, that's a different story lah, right? Okay, thanks for that. By the way, witness of the will, can it be two ladies above 21 years old?
Okay, for Muslim will, and for Muslim document, it cannot be ladies, it must be guys, 21 and above.
Two lah.
Dia nak kena jadi lelaki. Two male. Two male Muslim witness that is still in the mental capacity lah. Dia tak boleh nyanyi all this lah. Kan?
So nak kena cari ini dua orang lah. Berapa you charge for writing a will hibah? Cik Naim jangan lupa 25% saya Upstand tau si Mila ni.
Okay.
Mila orang kaya ni, cik.
Thank you so much Puan Mila, right. So basically, right, for me, my consultation is free, right. Because at the end of the day, I need to see whether is there a need for you to get this hibah done. Right, because there are free hibah out there that you can use. For example you mean CPF. Ada, you buat CPF nomination is a hibah. So no need to pay. Why need to pay? Betul, right? Then insurance nomination, pay. Kalau you nak pay now, okay, tak ada masalah.
Pay Ina, pay Naim, pay Ina.
Pay. Right. So sama juga macam you punya insurance. Right? So insurance, you buat nomination tu free. So that's where usually I will need to look at your the situation and see whether whatever plans that we have in mind, is it workable?
Yeah, so depends on what.
Then from that. Yes, correct. So usually I don't put a price lah. Right, we have to look from situational to situational, situation to situation basis lah.
That means kalau dia perlukan will apa macam nuzuriah untuk nak letak nama anak lah, atau will tu nak cover buat nak pilih executor ke, atau depending on what he want, then that's how the charges are lah kan. Macam correct, property correct. Senang 2%, sembarang case lah 2% lah jual. You know, comparing to property bill lah, it's more direct lah the charges. Understand? So ada contact number Cik Naim. Kalau ada sesiapa berminat, you can contact Cik Naim, WhatsApp dia, then maybe you can help to assist. Depends on what they want lah.
InsyaAllah,
So kalau siapa
insyaAllah.
nak kalau siapa nak do more estate planning, nak tanya pasal how all this they can make in order, so that kalau dia besok-besok one party pass away, jadi the other one tak gigit jari ke, something like that. I would say for okay, satu-satu I nak tanya lah, important Kalau sekarang tadi I cakap husband, wife, anak satu lelaki kan. This is always something my friends and customers always ask me though. Husband, wife, anak sekarang perempuan. Satu je anak, tapi anak perempuan. Macam mana dia because she is worried that yang dapat ni dia punya brother-in-law ke, something like that. Because they have the thinking that if they brother-in-law dia dapat ke, pakcik dia dapat ke, and these are not everybody are very good people who can take care of the daughter lah.
Okay.
So who will get the share of the
who qualify under the Faraid punya penerima, betul?
Ada father.
Okay.
So she don't have father.
So parents semua dah tak ada. Parents semua dah tak ada. Dua-dua parents dah tak ada. That means the parents, that means demi datuk nenek dia semua dah tak ada, Kak?
So if husband and wife dengan daughter, husband dah pass away, left wife kan. Wife ni pass away and she only have one daughter below 18, below 21. Parents dah tak ada.
Okay.
Ada brother,
so basically,
brother sister lah.
Okay. So basically, right, if that's the case, then half of whatever she own will goes to the daughter. Half,
okay, will go to daughter, okay. And means public trustee.
The other half, depend. Kalau rumah, of course, it falls under the estate account, kan? Kalau orang tu meninggal, you jual rumah, you have to go to the bank and open up the estate bank account.
Yeah, correct.
Because the sales proceed from that property, the check will be the estate of the deceased. So that one don't go public trustee, it will go to the estate account.
But nanti they will total up with everything and then half belong to daughter.
Yes, okay. Half will belong to the daughter.
The daughter share public trustee whole.
So right? now yes, now because dia minor, Kak, because he's a minor.
Yeah. Okay, so the other
half? So the other half will go to the siblings now. So siblings je kita nak tengok ada lelaki ke perempuan. So lelaki akan dapat 2 bahagian, perempuan akan dapat 1 bahagian. So kalau let's say siblings dia ada 1 adik lelaki, ada 1 adik perempuan, so the half bagi 3. So the adik lelaki akan dapat 2 bahagian, adik perempuan akan dapat 1 bahagian.
Okay. So split according to brother sister lah, boleh lah. Okay,
yes.
Then half will go to
so the male will always get 2 share.
Okay,
correct.
Understand. That means the pakcik-pakcik yang mana-mana yang London ni tak dapat lah kan? Unless kalau tak ada.
Because dia ada adik lelaki.
Ada adik lelaki. Kalau tak ada baru
kalau dia tak ada adik lelaki, then is another story dah.
Cari pakcik pula, is it?
Correct. Then kalau let's say pakcik, that means dia punya pakcik sebelah bapak dia pun dah meninggal, then it goes to the male cousin of the deceased now, male cousin. So in order for you,
before all this money nak claim, you nak kena submit all these document to prove, to korek, cari kan, which is such a tedious process. Bila saya nak bila dia nak dapat duit dia ni? By the time anak dia pun dah 21.
Correct. So you see part of the document, okay, so kalau part of the post-death process, kalau when involve Faraid, right, you have to go to the Sharia court, right, and apply for letter of inheritance, certificate of inheritance or letter of inheritance. You can go online and you need to submit this, right? Then the bank, sijil warisan, correct, Kak? So the bank, if let's say now under the estate account with the bank, right, so the bank will require 2 documents. Is either the grant of probate or the letter of administrator. Plus, if let's say you are a Muslim, then you need to get the sijil warisan. Then the bank will disburse the money according to that table.
They divide the berapa share.
Yes, correct. So there's a lot of work. To me, there's a lot of work post-death lah. So that's why I want to avoid this lah.
Yalah, so kalau nak avoid all this, then nak kena do proper planning lah. Nak kena share juga.
Yes.
But kalau dah ada son, dah tak payah share. Kalau ada daughter, ada son.
Kalau ada anak lelaki, tak ada masalah sebab dia lock. I always say that the son is always the locking mechanism. Kalau tak ada anak lelaki, then baru you punya gate terbuka lah sikit kak.
Kalau gate terbuka, then kalau ada father pun the gatekeeper juga kan?
Yes, kalau the father, that means the parents, the father, datuk dia masih ada, dia still gatekeeper, correct? Kalau datuk dah tak ada, dia terbuka luas kak.
Kalau datuk pun dah tak ada, that means pakcik lah. Pakcik pun tak ada, dia pergi pakcik lagi dah ni.
Tak, kalau pakcik dah tak ada, anak lelaki kepada pakcik kak.
Anak
Dia
lelaki.
tengok berapa besar gate dia terbuka kak.
Jauh gila. Itulah before to get the money nak claim banyak ni dia punya ni. Yeah. So sometimes the documents they ask are also not easy to submit lah. Susah nak kena submit.
Exactly. That's why it take time lah. That's why it will take time.
Yeah,
That's why mana-mana yang you boleh nominate, then you do your nomination, because the nomination instrument will help to disburse the fund earlier. So that at least, you know, while waiting for this probate matter or this administrative matter that can hold on for many years, at least yang nominated money ni you dah boleh pakai, dah boleh gunakan untuk sara hidup you for the time being. Waiting for the rest ni, gedebak-gedebuk ni yang tak boleh release ni because of the Faraid beneficiary yang you tak boleh locate.
Ya, betul. And this nominee CPF nomination every year, banyak orang tak tahu that this once you get married, the nomination that you have done previously tak pakai.
Revoke.
So once you get married, you must do new nomination. And this so important because even nanti you nak buat letter of administration later on, all this makan duit ribu. So I know of some families don't do this document because dia tak ada duit nak buat. Nak pergi lawyer. So they cannot sell the house, cannot proceed stuck because tak ada duit nak buat surat lawyer. So they have to beg, borrow. So better the CPF nomination, at least kalau keluar ada duit sikit yang ribu ni, at least they can use this to go to lawyer first while waiting to get duit rumah kan. Yeah, so nomination very important. Kahwin saja jangan lupa pergi. First kali hari ni nikah, besok pergi nomination. Boleh buat online sekarang.
Correct. Boleh online.
Can do online, and then you get 2 witness. You just key in the witness punya this one, and then after that then the witness will get the notification and they can do for you as witness lah. Okay, any other questions? Cik Naim, ada any questions for me lagi tak? I think I pun dah tanya and sangat memahami pasal Faraid ni.
I think so far alhamdulillah whatever I want to ask you is already what I ask you. Right, I think kita pun dah overrun ni kak. Kita target 1 hour ni. Dah 1.5 hours ni. Rancak kita berbual ni.
1.5 hours ni betul-betul sharing ni. Harap-harap orang faham information yang terbaik. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Hopefully
thank you everybody. Thank you.
Our knowledge. I hope you can share our knowledge and everybody can benefit from it. Okay, so kalau dah habis kita punya sharing and orang dah memahami, I thank you so much for coming on board with me to share this topic of Faraid and to clear a lot of some of the questions that we have today. Terima kasih banyak-banyak, insyaAllah. Hopefully anybody who has any questions about Faraid, jangan lupa about estate management, callkan Cik Naim. Dan jangan lupa kalau pasal rumah tu, jangan lupa telefon saya pula ya.
Betul. Jangan lupa 25% kak, 25%.
25%.
Anyway kak, thank you so much for having me to join your show ni. Right, it's your show. I just support it je. Right, appreciate the opportunity, right? Appreciate the opportunity lah for us to share our knowledge. I also learn a lot from you today. I hope the audience also is able to learn from. We are learning lah. Like what I say, it's a learning journey. We are here to share with each other lah, insyaAllah. Thank you so much kak. InsyaAllah maybe kalau ada opportunity we can always have another discussion again.
Very relaxed, very chill je dia nak answer questions, very clear. Okay, thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you kak.
Jom kita belum gambar lah nanti dengan si Panji ni. Nanti kita ambil gambar tu dengan Panji. Okay, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay,
Assalamualaikum everybody. Take care, bye-bye.
Waalaikumsalam.
My name is Ina Sultan and I am a full-time real estate agent with ERA and a consistent top achiever. I have over 10 years of experience in the field of real estate and I'm extremely passionate in what I do. Together with my dynamic team, we are known to handle the toughest cases and be an expert in the field of negotiating so that you will get the most value for your property. I am dedicated to help clients to sell,
buy, and rent their property in ways they never thought possible. I turn houses into homes and want the best for you. Call me, Ina Sultan.